Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I will be showing you how to make the inside of your hospital. Hopefully, it goes without saying that to make the inside of your hospital, you will need to have first made the hospital. You should have something that should look a little bit like this, minus that helicopter. If you haven't already made the hospital, just check out the card system, description below, and the top of the comment section, and you will easily be able to find a link to where you need to go, because we can't make all of this without that first. Just to quickly point out what this tutorial covers: a coffee shop, a convenience store, lifts and stairs, nurses stations, A&E, vending machines, 9 different wards, a lot of toilets, a maternity ward, 3 operating rooms, including this little clean room behind us too, an X-ray room, MRI room, and so much more. Please do remember that if you enjoyed this tutorial, it would help me out immensely if you hit that like button, as it really helps me in the channel out very much. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications if you haven't already, and if you could try and watch as much of this video as possible. I know that it is insanely long, trust me, I made it, it is insanely long, then I would really appreciate that as well. And of course, if you need to check back with any of the other tutorials, card system, description below in the top of the comment section for more. Without any further ado, let's get started. To follow this tutorial along, you are going to have already made the hospital itself. Now, this is the point that we got to in part 1, so do make sure that you have the hospital and the surrounding grounds made. If you haven't done that already, check out the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section. All parts of the hospital will be very easy to find, and once you have reached this point right here, we can continue on to the next part. There is a lot of materials required to make the inside of the hospital, so we are going to split up all of the item lists. Here are the materials that we are going to be starting off with. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. I'm going to try my best to use materials whilst we have them, as not to double up and have to keep repeating and grabbing the same item over and over again. So now that we have our starting materials, we are going to head inside of the hospital. Inside of the hospital requires an insane amount of work, but it's not that difficult as long as we go about it in the right way. You see, the first few things that we have to do are probably a little bit boring, but they will certainly pay dividends a little bit later. So, for instance, we are going to first of all add a layer of quartz surrounding the doors. Or at least we're definitely going to be doing that with this right door here, and I have to check whether we do it with the left door. It's important that we get this correct because we are going to use this to plan out the stairs and the elevator, which is pretty much the first thing that we want to get sorted. Okay, so what we actually want to do is we want to add 2 layers of quartz onto this part of the build. So we want to add 2 layers of quartz so that the glass is actually set kind of in the middle of a quartz barrier. So like if we just add a load of quartz here, you can see that the door kind of like sits like this. Now, we can't do the same thing over here because if we add another layer of quartz, then we cut off this window, but on this side we can. It would also be quite beneficial if we just open up this wall a little bit. We are going to have to build a little bit of a wall later on, but if we just open this wall a little bit, it just makes things a little bit brighter. So now that we've kind of done that, the next thing that we have to do is from this corner of quartz that we have now created, and from this corner, we want to count and find the 6th block going backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On top of this 6th block, we want to place a blue concrete. This blue concrete can be extended all the way backwards, and we then want to take this blue concrete and extend a row of 1, 2, 3 like this, and then we want to go left by 3, 1, 2, 3. And we want to join down. This is going to be a doorway. So if you leave enough room for a door on the right, and you can even have a glass above the door if you like as well. And if you are to imagine that the blue concrete here will be connected backwards, and also on this side as well, we'll have actually no, I guess we have a false wall here because we don't want to cover up this window. So we'll have something which should look like this, another row of blue concrete here, but it's set backwards and diagonally. Now, the reason that we can do this is because directly next to this staircase here, we want to have a row of quartz block. We want to extend it one row forwards, and we want to take the top, so it's, well, not the top, not quite the top. We want to take the 1, 2, 3, the third block here, and we want to place a row of 1, 2, 3 quartz slabs extending left, smooth quartz block on the end, and join back. So, like this. This is going to be an elevator. So, we'll actually have a row of light grey concrete on the inside of the left and right side, and grey concrete in between. It's a little dark in here. We will be lightening things up. Is that a word? We will be lighting things up a little bit later on, but we also want to just stick a button here on the right. So that is what our elevator looks like. This is what our staircase will look like. And this is what we want to have all the way up to the top of the building, right? So basically, we can take this row of smooth quartz block and we can extend it all the way up. That's all we've got to do. The elevator is a false elevator. We don't actually ever get to go in there, so it's just for show. So it's basically, it is kind of like a little bit of an empty space. It's a bit of a waste of space, unfortunately, but what can you do? And we just want to extend up all of this quartz here. But in the same vein, that allows us to extend the staircase. That's what we've done here, and we want to extend a row of blue concrete. Reason that we've used blue is just because it stands out a bit. I mean, you don't have to, you could easily use quartz, but I like the idea that we've got some different colors because it kind of like, it kind of just helps you a little bit because you want to navigate the hospital. This hospital's actually quite an interesting building. Honestly, like there's some cool stuff in here, so you're going to want to be able to find your way around easily. So we've got the blue concrete extending all the way up, and we will just simply be, what's the word? And let's extend all of the blue concrete up, by the way, every single one of these blocks. We want to, once we put the floors in, we will be able to make all of the elevator doors. We'll be able to make all of these staircases. But it's kind of dependent upon the fact that we're going to need the floors in first, because the floors go through this blue area, and, well, it doesn't matter with the elevator, but with the elevator, the floors will just help us to see where the doors are going to go. It's quite easily divided, but this is what we want to have. So the elevator and the staircase, as you can see, present throughout the entire build. Very important. So, let's talk about the floors. The first floor, literally the very first floor, the ground floor, this wants to be ripped up. We're going to rip up the entire ground floor. So I'm not going to do this on recording because it'll take so long, but the ground floor is going to be ripped up and we'll replace it with chiseled quartz. We'll have to replace some of that afterward. Actually, this might be a better way of doing it. Everywhere, right? Everywhere to the right of the elevator, so everywhere from here is almost all just chiseled quartz, right? So this isn't a hard and fast rule, but this is like guidelines. Everywhere from here is all chiseled quartz on the ground level. Everywhere to the left is almost all oak planks. So obviously, like, there's a bit of depth and such involved in the ground level of the hospital, so we can't say that from this straight line here, like, everywhere is oak planks, but mostly, for the most part, that is true. So don't fill this part in, we'll do that later, but that right side part can almost all be filled in with chiseled quartz. So I'm actually thinking that on the ground level here, whilst we are sort of here, I kind of want to devise the kind of like ground level nurses station. And by the way, the plans that I've got for the hospital are very big, okay? So it's actually it's hard to find certain parts. This wall that we kind of like still have a little bit of is meant to be 6 rows long in total. So we've already got 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. It wants to be 5 and 6. So it wants to be 6 rows long in total. So to the right of this, we actually want to be able to walk around. The third row into the, and I do hope that this is correct. I really hope that my plans are correct. So to the left of the third block, so this would be, actually, is that 6? No, I think it's 8 blocks. So hang on. So add another 2 rows. Very sorry about that. Yeah, and that still leaves like a good amount of space. And then I do believe it's 8 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the third row in from the 8th block here, so 1, 2, 3, we want to place a light grey concrete. We want to place 2 upside down smooth quartz going left, light grey concrete, 2 upside down quartz, light grey concrete, and then there'll be a physical barrier here. So this is pretty much like the nurse's station, and yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I mean, we can now come onto the inside here, and on the inside we want to place a, first of all, we'll place just like a block of quartz, and then we'll place 2 light grey concrete, so 1, 2, and then we want to place a wall. So the wall basically works out like this. It's like 2 quartz, and then there'll be a gap for a door, and then 3 quartz, gap for a door, 3 quartz, gap for a door, 2 quartz. So it kind of works out this way. And the ends of the rows of 3 can get connected back to the wall. So just like this. And it just creates some, I don't know quite what to, it's basically like a consultation room, like where, and by the way, you can just fill this left side in here because I want all of these rooms to be equal. And so if you just build this up a little bit, like this wall will just get built into the ceiling. It is kind of like a little bit of a false wall. So these are consultation rooms where you would get seen initially by a doctor or a nurse or a medical professional of some sort. You'd get seen right here. I'm thinking that we could even have like 2 upside down quartz stairs here, and then we can have a light grey concrete on the end instead, because this is going to be a water cooler, which will be apparent later. But I'm quite happy with how we've kind of like laid this out. We can make these walls 3 rows high in total, and then the floor will just go directly above them. So if we just make these 3 rows high in total, we might even make them 4, because we might be able to use these in the next level, but I actually don't think we do. No, we can't. Never mind. So it doesn't have to be 4. It might even be actually that. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. We'll just leave them at 3. And then that's perfect. So that's a good layout there. I'm quite happy with this. It might also be beneficial for us, so now that we've kind of done that, it might be beneficial for us to actually lay out, because there's only 2 more areas in the ground level. It might, if we grab the, we'll keep on to the quartz. So we'll get rid of the blue and light grey concrete, and we'll grab red and green concrete as he checks his plans, just to make sure. Hang on. Hang on, guys. There's so many different reference images that I've had to take. Okay, there we go. Perfect. I found it. So, where we have the elevator here, diagonally inwards towards, like, outwards from the corner here, we want to have a row of red concrete. It wants to be 3 rows high in total. We want to add another row to the left of it. We take the top. We extend left 1, 2. Green concrete, extend the green concrete down, add a row of green in front, take the top, extend left 2, or 3, 1, 2, 3, extend down, take the top, extend left, and then we want to dig the chisel quartz out, replace with green. We even have a black stained glass pane here. And then we can take the green concrete wall and we can extend this backwards. And I'm wondering if we can do any of the interior of the coffee shop whilst we are here, because that's what it is. We can actually. So on the inside, we want to leave from the top of the wall here a gap of 2. So 1, 2. And then there wants to be a split in the wall using green concrete. And then we can take the bottom block here and we can leave a gap of 1. and then place 2 green concretes extending out, left, and then add another row on top because this isn't the floor level, it's going to be 1 row above. And we can just leave it like that. So that's kind of like the layout of the coffee shop. We'll have some seats. This will kind of like be where one would get their coffee. This is, I don't quite know how to explain this, as I've said before, but it's kind of like a newsagent sort of like gift shop sort of foodie, like it again, it's that sort of thing. You guys have been to a hospital before. So on the ground level, coffee shop. Or maybe you're fortunate enough to not have been to a hospital, who knows? Or unfortunate, I guess it depends how you think about it. So, coffee shop, newsagents, that's what I'm going to call it. Lift, we've got the staircase area. We've got the nurse's station / kind of like help desk. We've got A&E sort of laid out. That's really great, because now we can add in the floors. So, let me show you where the floors are going to go. It's so easy, and it's basically like... it's the same on every level, mostly how everything's laid out. So, the floors, you count it out like this. Start from the bottom here, these windows. We've got a row of 1, 2, 3, put in a floor. 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 And then you'll naturally have 1, 2, 3 as we hit the top. So, that means... that we, and by the way, if you want, you can take the top of this off, the top of this area, because it'd be a bit weird to have a different texture for a floor. I actually did mean to do this in the first part of the tutorial, but, well, we're doing it now instead, so it's perfectly fine. We've got the material on us. So here, the top of the entrance area also wants to be chiseled quartz. So... across here, 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 here. And this gives you a good idea of, I mean, how the floor's going to look. I mean, not that it needs too much imagination, but this floor wants to go through into the staircase as well. So, basically, inside of these staircase areas, we are going to also place all of the chiseled quartz. So, it's up to you how you kind of like want to do it. It might be easier for you to do this, but it is important for us to also have the chiseled quartz. I mean, maybe that's a good way to do it here, like this. I mean, you could even like lay it out inside here. I mean, you know, it's like 1, 2, 3, chiseled 1, 2, 3, chiseled 1, 2, 3, naturally here. So maybe we could start it from inside here. We're going to have to build staircases inside, but that'll be probably one of our next jobs. We'll probably get all of the staircases made. So, again, that's how it goes. I mean, hopefully you guys have kind of like caught on to that. We have got to place all of the chiseled quartz, and inside of the 2 areas at the bottom, the coffee shop and the newsagents, feel free to oak wood plank them. And, oh, that's also another good point. Something else to point out is inside of these... I really wish I could figure out what to call these inside here. I'm also making these oak planks because it just seems like a nicer material to use. So, I'm going to go away, I'm going to do all of that, and then I will be back once that's done. It's going to take a really long time, hence why I'm not included in the tutorial. But once that is done, that is a huge amount of the... Actually... yes, yeah, okay, that is a huge amount of the tutorial complete, just getting the walls in. So, I'll be back in a moment, let's do it. Okay, so I have installed all of the floors. You may or may not be able to tell, but as we kind of just look from the outside in, you can see that every single level has a floor. It's also worth mentioning that the elevator and the stairs come all the way up to the top level here. That's something that we may have forgotten about. But do make sure that those extend all the way up to the top here, where we have the roof. So, once you have achieved that for yourself, pause this video if necessary, the next thing that we have to do is actually add in these stairs, because it'll just be helpful for us if we can easily get up and down, because we do have a lot more to do in terms of building the structure of the hospital. So, to make the stairs, it's actually relatively easy. Smooth quartz stairs, we need the light grey concrete, blue glass. I mean, even blue concrete, black glass, sorry. Maybe even black blue concrete. I'm not quite sure. We'll kind of just see as we go. And lanterns might help. So, we're starting down at the bottom level. Oh, and also, it might also be worth doing this as well. If you want, you can put doors on now, or maybe later if they'll annoy you, but maybe wooden doors and oak doors and a glass. And if you want, you can even put signs on things, although we'll probably cover that later. So like floor 1 to 2, 2 to 3, like as we go up the staircase. So the stairs start in the front left corner here. We've got one block that we can walk and then up onto the stairs, but then like we just basically just want to build the stairs up the left side here. We want to leave one block on the next floor, and we want to build a stairs into the floor. So basically, for the stairs, you can see here, 1, 2, 3. The fourth stair is built into the next floor, and if you like, you can place upside down stairs, although I don't know if you can do that on every level, so it might not be worth it. So on this next floor here, we will have, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we would build the chiseled quartz block around it. We need an extra one here, and you guys get the idea. I don't know, we can't. If we place upside down stairs, we won't be able to get up and down the stairs. So that's the reason that we don't have it, unfortunately. But you can do it for the ground level if you like. You could even put like a lantern at the top just to kind of keep these stairwells bright. But that's what you want to do for every level. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm actually thinking that's quite clean. But next to the stairs, I want to place some black glass, and I don't know whether to replace the so originally I was going to replace underneath the glass with like blue concrete because I thought that it might look nice, but I'm wondering if it'd actually look better just with the chiseled quartz, because then it doesn't mess with the floor that much. But I actually don't know, so I'm going to leave that as a personal preference. Anyway, we want to have stairs running all the way up to the top of the building. I'm going to do that off recording, but trust me, we're going to get all of those stairs done. Okay, so I have finished outfitting every single one of the stairwells. So they're all done in the exact same way. We have the same railings, the same stairs, and the same lantern on every single floor. The only floor that this differentiates... Oh, and also the door with the glass above it as well. The only floor that this differentiates on is at the top floor, which takes a little while to get to. This is why I want the stairs. And the top floor, you can see that we wouldn't have the quartz here, we wouldn't have the next set of stairs, we simply run a row of blue concrete with the glass straight to the wall. So, oh, I get, maybe we could have a lantern above here. Maybe that's what we can do on the top level as well. I only just thought of that. Anyway, now that that is done, we have to think about the elevators. So, now that I've sort of worked my way all the way up to the top, let's work our way down. So, the elevators, you guys know how this works. It's light grey concrete on the left, well, hang on, a row in front, light grey concrete on the left, light grey concrete on the right, grey concrete in the middle, just kind of looks like a separation of doors or something, and then a button on the right. Boom, there you go, elevator, lift, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to work my way down, and I'm going to do every single elevator now, and you guys should do the same. It'll be fun. Not really though, but it won't be that fun. Okay, so I have officially finished every single elevator. I'm on the ground level now, and I'm going to work my way up to the next floor, but every single elevator is the same. I've even decided to hang lanterns on the left and right. Feel free to use torches or some other light source, but there's not really any external light coming in. I mean, the windows are fine, but not really that great at providing light. So we're going to have to hang lanterns. We're going to have to use torches. We're going to have to use sea lanterns. We're going to have to use glowstone, all sorts of different things to keep this nice and bright. It doesn't want to be dark and dreary. We want to have a nice, bright hospital. So the reason that I am on the second level right now... That sounded weird. I'm on the door. No. So the reason that I'm on the second level right now, say a little bit slow so that it actually gets out, is because I want to start adding in the wards. So, hospital wards. Basically, the idea is that I want to split each floor in half. So, on the first floor, for instance, we'll call this the first floor. The ground level is the ground level. This is the first floor. We are going to have two basically, the wards in, like, people that have had operations, people that need to be in hospital, there is going to be 2 beds in each ward. There'll be 1 here, there'll be 1 here, and then, typically, until we get to the higher floors, there will be a special room. So, on the first floor, I want to say there is a maternity ward, so there'll be babies here. On the next floor, there will be an X-ray or an MRI. The floor above will be the one that there wasn't on the previous floor, so an X-ray or an MRI, so special rooms in the corners. So the way that we divide these up is quite simple. We take these end 2 windows here, and we make a double wall of quartz on the left and right side of the window. This almost evenly splits up each room. So basically, yeah, so we've got 3 rooms, so one there, and then the specialty room. So 2 wards, I'll call them, and a specialty room. I hope that I'm getting the terminology almost sort of right, but you guys get the idea. So basically, we want to have the double row of quartz, and it wants to be 9 rows long in total. So we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you can see where the split is. The split is in between these 2 windows, so it'll be here. Right? So that's how this works. And we're going to be doing this on every single level, by the way, like literally every single level. So that's why I really want to kind of like nail it in. So let's get these long walls made first, and then we can talk about what we're then going to be doing with the walls. Because once again, it's the exact same thing on every single level. I've tried to make this nice and simple, so that's why we're kind of like repeating ourselves quite a bit. So we've got big wall, big wall. What we will then do is have a double door on the right of each one of these walls. Again, keeping it nice and simple. We'll have a double door on each one of these walls. And then we will have stairs above the doors, just to kind of, I don't know, it's just a little bit of decoration like this. And then we will fill in the walls using smooth quartz. You could even add a color if you wanted to. I'm kind of just thinking that you could add a color if you wanted to. Would that make the hospital look brighter, or would it make it look like a maniac's in here? I don't quite know. So all of this wants to be the same. The only floor where that actually isn't the case, like all of the other floors are going to just have solid walls. The only floor where this isn't the case is here in the maternity ward. In that, we want to have a row of quartz, smooth quartz, next to the door, and then we want to have upside down stairs running across the bottom, and then we want to have glass. That's so that you can see the babies. So right here, perfect. So the only difference is here, literally on this floor. So you'll be able to see and you'll see the natal ward. Maybe it's not maternity ward, but you guys get the idea. Like where they keep the babies that can't exactly be with their families quite yet. They need a little bit of care or whatever it might be. So that's how it works on every single level. So once again, we're gonna do this, except this wall's gonna be smooth on every single level. Hopefully we'll be able to do that, no problem. I'm going to move up. I've got to do this like 3 or 4 more times. Oh, it might also be worth placing lanterns on the left and right sides of the doors, or at least where you can. And again, that will just keep things nice and bright. Okay, I have finally reached the top floor, and we have done the exact same thing on every single level at this point. We have all of the wards, and again, I think that's what it's called, where like a bunch of people are in like one particular place. I don't know, but we have a bunch of wards, and we have a bunch of specialty rooms. So let's work our way down, and I want to make the next thing. So the next thing, I'm not actually sure which floor I'm on right now at the moment, so we might just have to go all the way down to the bottom, and then we'll actually know. I should really have this place signposted. So on the ground level, we of course have A&E. So let's take a look. So we have A&E, but above that, we've got like this extra part here, right? These are operating rooms. There's actually 3 of them. So on the second floor, or rather the first floor, this is the ground floor. The first floor is above. The first floor, we have to, if we haven't already, and we have not, we have to dig into this part of the building here. So if you start from the left, it will just be a little bit easier. We have to dig into this part of the building. Destroy. There we go. And I'll just place a couple of lanterns, just literally just beside that middle window there, just to keep things nice and bright. And we have, on this floor, we've got a toilet. So just a single toilet. Although I'm starting to wonder if we could just have a lot of operating rooms, but it would make sense that there would be at least one toilet on this level. So I think that we're going to start over here on the right, and then that'll help us figure out how much room is left. So over here on the right, where we've got this single window, we want to leave a gap of 1 from the window, so here, and we want to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 smooth stone. Or smooth quartz, and then join it up to the ceiling. We'll leave a gap of 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gap of 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Join up. Well, actually, no. Yeah, and then join up. My bad. And then a gap of 1. Row of quartz. Now, this row of quartz wants to extend 1 row forwards, and it wants to join the back wall here. So, just like this. That's perfect. So, excellent. There we go. So, the operating rooms, ORs as we call them in the business, the operating rooms, the wall for each operating room is on the right. So, if that makes sense. So, we kind of make, and I might destroy the bottom of this wall as well. So, the wall is here on the right, so it'll be here. The next wall, the kind of cutoff is here as well. So, again, just on the right, just place a row of quartz from the floor to the ceiling. And in this particular case, we already have a wall because it's kind of like the end. So, here, the doors are all on the left, and the doors are made out of iron, and we use buttons to get in and out because it seems like for operating rooms you shouldn't just be able to burst in, you know? So button, door, button, destroying the bottom of this wall. We need to be able to get out as well, so a button on the opposite sides as well. It's going to actually, we might get rid of the doors for now, but I just wanted to illustrate where the doors are going to be. I want to kind of single these areas out, okay, as well. So I kind of want to place like some light grey concrete. I want to place some or grey concrete, or blue, or like, it doesn't matter. Probably one of the greys or a blue or something, because it's more of a clinical colour as I think of it. These are, I think grey's actually quite good for this. And then I kind of like want a glass above each door. So here, perfect. And again, I'm gonna get rid of the doors, but they are iron doors. That is what we want to have. And I want us to kind of like, and we'll also place, by the way, lanterns on, we'll place lanterns inside the doorway here. There wants to be a double space, so we're going to have 2 rows wide, and then there will be another wall here. This is made out of quartz, and we'll join the end block upwards, but we want to be able to see into this part. So this is like a sterilizing room. So we can even place, so this is how each one of these is going to be laid out. Each one of these 3 are laid out all the exact same way. So we're going to have a place to wash hands, which is going to be a couple of cauldrons, tripwire hooks, and then we are going to have a couple of armor stands. So this is going to be, so a couple of armor stands, so like here, and even, can we place an armor stand in front of a button? Maybe if the lantern's not there. Okay, well, you can on Java, so never mind, it doesn't matter. But one armor stand will do. Basically, so this is where one would wash their hands. If you want, you could even have like paper towel dispensaries above. So just here, or, you know, something, or maybe like hand washers of some sort of... The armor stands took the stairs. But you guys get the idea. I would outfit that in blue, by the way, or in blue and or white, because then that looks like scrubs or something that a doctor might wear, you know, and or a surgeon, I should say. We want another door, so that's going to be a button on either side, and an iron door is going to be in here. So place to wash hands, dry. If you need extra scrubs or protective clothing of some sort, that's there. We've got a light, we've got the button. This is the actual operating room. We don't really have everything that we need in here, but we will make use of the items that we do need. So we have smooth quartz stairs, right? We have smooth quartz slabs. we have light grey concrete, which we would need, and we have light grey shulker boxes, which we would need. And then that's pretty much all we have that we would need in here. And basically, on the right, there's a unit. Oh, and buttons as well. So there's buttons for the unit. Shulker boxes above the unit that will store medical supplies, of course. Leaving a gap of 1, we want to have, and this is going to be quite hard to place, I think, but basically we want like an upside down, oh, it's not so hard. We want an upside down stair against this wall here, and then we want to have, or maybe we want the upside down stairs in front of this. So I think that we might want the stairs here, slab, and then slab. So this is kind of like the bed that people would be on, the operating table, I suppose you would call it. You know, I'm not a doctor, I don't know what all these things are. So this would be the operating table, and then on here be like an item frame with a scalpel or something like that, and there'd be like an IV, and there'd be a heart rate monitor and stuff like that. So that's what we can do for each one of these rooms right now. We can add lights to the ceiling as well. That would just mean carpeting just up above us. So we will be doing that, and that is what we want to do to each one of these operating rooms. We will be revisiting these with more detail later on. So let me go ahead and do that to the 2 remaining rooms, and then we can move on to some of the other parts of the build. Okay, I have successfully done the exact same thing to every single one of the ORs. You can see that we have the little clean room here, and we have the setup for the actual operating room, the table, some cabinets, some units, some stuff, and we have the light fixtures almost ready to go. So every single one of those has been done in the exact same way. I now have doors on, which are quite annoying, but what can you do? But that's the second time. So there we go. Okay, so each one of those 3 are the exact same. Once you've done that, pause the video if necessary. Once you have done that, we can now move on to the next part. So something that every single floor, except the top floor and the bottom floor, have is toilets. That is why we have this whole new set of materials right here. So this is what we are going to be using for all of the bathrooms, and there might even be an item list slide in here right about now. Somebody put an item list in. Okay, perfect. So that's how much of all of this stuff you are going to need. Now that we have all of this, we can get this thing rolling. So smooth quartz, birch door, cauldron, oak trapdoor, tripwire hook, light grey concrete, paintings, and lanterns. So let's start with this floor. This is the first floor, right? So on this floor, the toilets are always in the same sort of place. They're always directly to the right of the staircase. Some toilets are different in that they are smaller or bigger than others, but this one to the right here, this is what we want to do. We want to place a diagonally placed block of quartz to the right of this wall, and then a block of quartz in front of it. I'm thinking that we can actually just extend an entire row of quartz, because I think it's actually big enough. You only need about 3 rows for the toilet, so you can just place an entire wall of block of quartz out from this. On the right side here, we're going to place a door. Then we're going to fill in this wall like this, and then we're not going to have a glass above it, so we'll just leave it like this. So inside here, this is how it's going to work. There'll be a toilet, so that's a cauldron with an oak trapdoor on top of it, wall. Cauldron, wall, cauldron, wall. There's no more room, so that's how it's going to work. So we'll have walls next to all these cauldrons. The walls are going to go up to the ceiling like this. All of the cauldrons want to have oak trap doors. If you like, you can light this place up by placing cauldrons above the toilets. And then the toilet doors are going to be made out of birch doors, and we'll leave a gap at the top. Across this back wall, we need to have a sink. So that's going to be a cauldron, tripwire hook, 2 light grey concretes as kind of a unit. You can place lanterns on this. If you want, we can place these are what we'll need next. We'll need smooth quartz stairs, flower pot, flowers, and then we will need the paintings. So the smooth quartz block will always go up. The smooth quartz stairs will always go up above the cauldron, and then that'll be like a hand cleaner sort of dryer sort of thing. And then if you want, you can place like a flower pot with some flowers on top of this kind of like bench that we kind of have to the right. if you like, you can put posters in here. So this is difficult, but the way that I would place the posters is in between the stalls. So like opposite here. So I'd have a poster, so it'd go like here, like this, just one, just like that. And then opposite the store here, so here, just one, spaced evenly apart, just 1 by 1 posters. And then here, just like this. I mean, we don't want repeats, but it's so cramped in here, like it's kind of hard to deal. I'm thinking can we create a window? We can create a window in here as well. That will require glass, but you know, that's easy enough to get. It would be blue glass, as is all of the rest of the hospital. And then it's nice and bright, and then you've got like a nice amount of brightness in here. And that is how the bathroom is laid out. So when you encounter just a one-space bathroom, that's how you deal with it. I don't think that I'll be going through that again, but on most floors, on every single, I think every single floor above us, we have, maybe not this one might be an outlier. So in this one, this is kind of like an unusual case. There's not enough room for 2 bathrooms and for us to still get outside. So on this occasion, we're only going to have the 1 bathroom. It'll start here. Or does it start 1 row in front? It's definitely, I'm pretty sure it's outward diagonally from just as blue. And then we'll need a row of 4 in total. So it'll be 2 smooth quartz, gap of 1 smooth quartz, and then this will extend up to the ceiling. And then as you can see, because we need, and then the wall will extend backwards. We're going to use the blue concrete for the inside wall, and then you can see we don't have enough space for us to have a gap of 3. Like if we wanted to install a wall here, like we can't have a double bathroom and then a small corridor, which is unfortunate. Like it'd be cool if we could get a gap of 2 and then 2 bathrooms and then around the corner. But this is another situation in which we would, again, you guys know how to do this now, so I'm not going to go through this again, but you guys know how this is going to get planned out. Or maybe we'll even drop this another row forwards, or if you like, you can simply just have 2 toilets in here and then you've got more space. So it's kind of how you want to do it. Like you can elongate the bathroom like this. It doesn't matter. You can have the extra stall in here if you like, or you can just have the, well, I guess that doesn't work in this occasion because, yeah, well, never mind. Then all we have to do, we'll just have 2 toilets, so that doesn't matter. So you guys know how it goes together, so you'll be able to do this no problem. So what I'm looking for is an opportunity to have a double bathroom, and I think that we're going to hit it here. Perfect. So on some floors like this, we'll be able to have the double bathroom. So we want to have an entire I think that we do it like this. But that's actually how, by the way, on the previous floor, how we would circumvent that problem of not being able to extend it out far enough is that we would shift the wall another row over like this, because there's plenty of space to walk in between here. We would simply shift the wall another row over, and we would create, we've already got like a blue concrete wall, but we can simply just make an entire quartz wall, and it can come 1 row outwards. But again, it depends. Like I think it actually fits nicer if the toilets are like level with the elevator, and then you've only got 2, but it doesn't even matter. Then you've got a little bit more space to walk around. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do that and how you want to shift things around. Like it's not a big deal. It's completely up to you. So I'll just leave that. So anyway, coming up to the next story, because again, you guys know how to make a 1 toilet. So on this next story here, I think that we are just going to use, yeah, okay, so on this story, we're going to like use the space in between the double window. We only need 3 rows wide, so we'll have a double wide wall like this. We'll use the blue concrete for the wall, and then that way everything gets spaced perfectly. So we've got row 3, row 3. You can even inverse them, by the way. Like, what I mean by that is, like, when I showed you how to make the single toilet, I made it so that the toilets were, like, on the outside, like, the doors here on the right, the toilets are on the left. But on this occasion, we can have it so that the door is on the left, so like it will look a little bit cooler. The door is on the left, and then the toilets will be to the right, so on the outside. So yes, so this, yeah, perfect. Okay, so we're just going to have 2 toilets in this occasion, so that's okay. I'd rather have the 2 toilets and have them like perfectly centered and such. I'd rather have it that way. And you can leave some of the lids up and down. You can like leave some of the doors open and closed, like it. You know how you guys have been to the toilet before. You know how it is. So we'll have it like this, and then we'll have the same on the back. Wherever you can place the cauldron with the tripwire hook, place it. We want to have the smooth quartz stairs above. We want to have the light grey concrete. We want to have like you can have the lantern or you cannot. It's up to you, whichever you want to do. And then we have I'm going to have a flower pot in here just to make it nice with the azure bluette. And then if you wanted to, you could have like an additional smooth quartz stair here, and that's kind of a drying device, or not. I'm quite happy just to leave it like this. And then opposite these stalls, I would like the quartz of it. You guys know that we want to have the paintings. So here, okay, well, maybe not. So what if? Okay, so what do I have to do? So place it. Maybe work from this way. So from here to here, painting, and then here to here, painting. So we'll only have 2 in this bathroom in particular, so they're opposite the quartzes, and then that's pretty much it. So now that we've done this, what we would then want to do is come over here, and we would want to mirror that. So that's all there is to it. So here, 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 here. So on this back wall, we'll have the light grey concrete. We'll have the sink against the wall where we can actually place it. We'll have these stairs up above just like this. We want to have cauldron, gap, cauldron, and then we want to have above the cauldrons, once again, the trapdoors. And then we want to have the smooth quartz blocks in between. So here, 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 here. Doors open and closed. Why not? Just like this. Lantern on the sort of like units here, and then flower pot, flowers, and then we've just got to add the paintings now, or the paintings it is too. So just like this, here, here, perfect. So there we go, nice. And of course, just to put a finish on the toilets, oak doors, and then later on we can just have signs saying, you know, ladies, gents, whatever it might be, whatever you want to denominate them as. So that's how it goes, and the next floor will be the same. So up here we will have another double toilets, and I'm pretty sure that it's consistent now all the way up to the top of the building. Oh, perfect. Well, here we go. So there you go. So we'll have another double toilet, and then we'll have the single toilet, and you guys know how to do it now. So once you've done those, and I'm going to get those done for myself, we'll get all of those toilets done, we can start working on another part of the build which is present on every single level. Well, pretty much every level, but 2, you know, is present on enough levels that we can, it's a repeatable thing. So let me do all of the remaining toilets, and then we can get back to it. Okay, so once you successfully have one of these on every single floor, so you have done a bathroom to every single floor where it's applicable. You don't need to do the ground floor, nor do you need to do the top floor. Fourth floor? 5th floor? I don't even know how many floors this hospital has, quite honestly. But once you've done that, we want to work our way down to the ground level once more. And we need more items. So again, we're going to be repeating a good amount of items just because like the hospital uses a lot of quartz and grey and stuff. So this is what we are going to be using for the next part. We're going to be doing nurses stations. I'm sure that the item list will have appeared right about now, hopefully, on the screen. I sure hope it's there. So do make sure that you have every single one of those items and enough of them. And this is what we're going to get things started with. Smooth quartz stairs, stone pressure plate, birch trapdoor, flower pot, lantern painting, light grey shulker box, beehive, and oak wood slab. So On the ground level, this is the only nurse's station that is different, so we're going to be doing 2 nurse's stations together. In the corner of the back corner of the nurse's station, you guys know where this is, right? Right next to the stairs, right here. 2x2 square of beehive right at the back. Extend one of the beehives outwards using oakwood slabs. To the right of this, we want a 2x2 square of light grey shulker box, a gap of 2, and then another 2x2 square like this. It wasn't... I don't have it on me, but it will certainly 100% be in the item list. We need light grey concrete. So that's going to be placed in between the shulker boxes. So on these, we can have like a birch trapdoor for decoration. You can place lanterns along the back for decoration as well. You can even make windows if you do desire. These are all storage and cabinets. You could even use bookshelves for this kind of like along the sides as well. Maybe we'll even do that. We might test that out. Who knows? But we also need to make some computers. The computers are going to be on this outward desk here. Might even place like a lantern just on the outward corner. So, the computers are made using trapdoors. I'm going to use specifically birch trapdoors, and we want to have a birch trapdoor overhanging the position on the desk that we want to have the computer, and then we want to flip it up. We then want to place stone pressure plates in front of the trapdoors, and then we want to have paintings placed on these. It's actually not that important, but it does look really, really good. Flower pots on the outward part of this desk that can have coffee, that can be drinks, or you can even put flowers in them. It doesn't really matter. In addition to that, we're going to grab smooth quartz stairs, item frames, paper, blue carpet, even oak signs as well. And the stairs are of course just their seats, and they don't even have to be centered with the computers. And the paper is literally just for decoration, so item frames with paper in it that can be placed anywhere that you like. We've got the seats sorted out. The oak signs are to make these cabinets. So you guys, basically we just want to place oak signs around the outward oak slab just like this, and it looks like an open cabinet. I'm going to test out the bookshelf idea. I don't know whether it'll look good or whether it'll even fit in here, because it's kind of a tight space to be honest, but my idea is maybe we could have like a couple of bookshelves kind of just like in this position, or maybe even along the top like this. I don't know if that looks stupid though, but I do sort of like that. It does add a nice little bit of colour, so I'm not too mad at that. I think I'll have that stay. And that's how the nurse's station looks. It's very, very simple. So this is both a nurse's station, and this is also a, like, this is a, how do I describe it, kind of like a, come in, please help, a help desk sort of. They'll direct you. So this is what we have here, and then on every single floor we actually have something. It's very, very, very similar to this. It's all the way on the left side of every single floor now. Every single floor except the top floor, and I'm trying desperately to find it. It's the exact same idea, except it's a little bit smaller. So I think that we might even extend. Can we extend it out? Can we make it a little bit bigger? Otherwise, it's going to be a bit cramped back here. Although you don't technically have to get back here anyway. So up here is, again, let's start off with some of the design. So we'll have one row away here. We'll have light grey concrete, and then we'll have just a set of smooth stairs extending just like this. And then along this back wall, it's basically like a mishmash of, like, we'll have the beehives, we'll have the shulker boxes, like out one of the beehives will be, like, you don't even have to extend the beehives out if you don't want to on every single one. And then we'll have like a set of light grey concretes. Up here we'll have like a couple of smooth quartz stairs. Like, we don't actually have to get in here, so it's fine. We'll have like a lantern, we'll have like flower pot. Along here maybe just like another flower pot. We need to have, so, you know, to kind of randomize this a little bit. Like on every single floor, you can shift the storage, if you like, a little bit as well. And we'll have like a couple of birch trap doors, and we will center them. Actually, no, we won't. We won't center them at all with the seats. So we'll destroy the original ones. We'll flip these back up, and then you guys know what to do with these. Stone pressure plates, paintings. Easy peasy. Those are laptops, those are computers, those are whatever you want them to be. So now that we've done that, we can place, again, maybe we'll try with the bookshelves, but Item frames with paper in it, that'd be everywhere, I think. I don't know. And then maybe some bookshelves. I mean, you could even try bookshelves just along the back here. Like, that actually looks just fine to me. I'm quite happy with that. And that is the nurse's station, and this will be on every floor. Like, literally the exact same thing. Well, not the exact same thing. Like I said, I'm going to vary it, but we have to make, I think, like 4 of those, at least 3 of them, and I'm going to do exactly that, and I'll be back once that is done. Okay, so once you have done every single nurse's station, which there is a lot of, oh boy, is there a lot of them. Once you've done them all, we can now move on to what I have been calling, and hopefully semi-correctly, the wards. To make the wards, you will need all of these materials that I have in my inventory right now, and should hopefully have appeared on the screen for you. Make sure that you've got all of those, and then once you do have all of those, we can continue on. So I'm going to start off blue concrete, white bed, birch sign, item frame, paper, emerald, black concrete, brewing stand, and blue carpet. And I'm hoping that all of this works on bedrock, because it'd be a really unfortunate if it didn't work on bedrock, but it does work on Java. So Java, well, you know how I feel about bedrock versus Java. So we're starting from the first floor. On every single floor, except of course the ground and the very top, I've got to stop saying that because I'm sure that you guys get it. There is at least 2 wards, and on the top floor, I want to say, there is 3 wards. So, let's start over here on the right. We're going to do this for every single one of the rooms. So, we're only going to be doing this once on recording, but we have to do this a lot of times, so I'll try and make this, you know, as easy as possible. So, there are 2 beds in every single room. On the left wall is where we are going to be placing them, because I don't want to place them too close to the doors, although feel free to mess things about a bit. I'm going to leave a gap of 2 from the corner of the wall, blue concrete. Gap of 2, blue concrete. That spaces the beds evenly in the room. White bed, specifically white in front of this, and I want to place signs on the left and right sides of the bed. I'm hoping that we can come back sign. I'm hoping that we can place item frames on the end of the bed. Oh, we can. That is so good. Okay, I didn't know if we'd be able to do that. Again, Bedrock and Java can be a little bit funny, you know? So, slowly crouch around these beds. A little bit creepy, but what can you do? And this is perfect. So, sort of like a standard-ish hospital bed. At the end of beds, you'll find that there are charts. This tells you what's wrong with the patient specifically. So that's paper inside the item frames. Then, next to the 2 beds, I'm going to have end rods. Like this. I mean, it's not necessary for each bed, actually. But on the very least, this left bed, I want to have 2 end rods with a brewing stand on top, and then that kind of looks like an IV, right? With an item frame in front. Oh, okay, that's the difference between Java and Bedrock, apparently. If you are on Java, you will be able to place an item frame in front of this with a potion in that, and that will actually look perfect. Like, it will look like an IV. It's a really cool decoration. We can't do this on this version. I'm trying to think what we can do instead. It might be possible that... Now, this won't look as good, anywhere near as good, but it might be possible for us to place, like, a solid block here, and then an item frame, and then we can place the potion inside. It's up to you whether you want to do this for 1 bed or both beds, but I'm going to place a table in between the beds, and then I'm going to... I mean, maybe we can place, like, a emerald with, I guess, a light grey concrete on instead, brewing stand, and then item frame. That's so annoying. It looks so much better with like end rods and then the potion in it, but what can you do? It's version specific. I want to have a bit of carpet kind of like just in front of the beds, kind of just joining them together like that in the center of the room. I like that a lot. Gonna have smooth quartz stairs here and here, just kind of like next to the beds. Or maybe like here and here in the corners. And then chests in between, because it just looks like a bit of storage. Or maybe like we'll have chests on both sides, and then maybe we can have just like a smooth quartz stairs here, just in the corner like this, kind of like against the bed, so that they have visitors, whoever may be staying in here. On the walls as well, like around hospital beds, and I kind of wanted to make 2 different versions of beds, but you know, it starts getting crazy eventually. I kind of wanted to place like light blue banners around the beds, just to kind of like show that maybe that you can have like a curtain around the bed. But I don't know, it kind of looks good on the wall anyway, like it looks just fine. And then on the opposite side of the room, like I find that whenever I've visited a relative or what have you in hospital, I found that there's always sinks in the room. So we're going to have like a sink that's going to be like a cauldron, tripwire hook, and then we'll have like just your sort of usual like quartz stairs above it. We'll have like a blue concrete to the right. We could even have like a paper towel or something in here if we wanted to as well. In the corner of the room, I mean, so it makes sense that there'd be like tables and stuff, so maybe like a little bit of scaffolding. So just as kind of like a table. And it did also occur to me that we could have some different kinds of seats. So like, you know, maybe like polished black stone stairs with oak trapdoors on the side of it. Something like that. Something that I'm missing as well, actually, there's a couple more decorations. Like there's end rod, pressure plates, paintings. We're missing paintings. It doesn't matter. I mean, we can use birch signs instead. Like, I felt like a heart rate monitor or something like that, or whatever you'd call it. Like, maybe just like in the corner, and then with like just one end rod, black concrete, weighted pressure plate, and then maybe like a sign, and then that can kind of like be, you know, where you check your vital signs on and stuff. Like a painting might also be good for that. Item frames with something in it. Let's fill those back the IVs though with potions, because it just makes it look so much better. In the room as well, I mean, we've got this. I imagine a clock would look good too. So like an item frame with it. It makes sense that there would be a clock on the wall. So maybe just above here, or maybe above the doors. Maybe even paintings themselves. I mean, we don't have paintings on us, but hopefully I will have included it in the item list. Might not have done. We'll see. Maybe some paintings just to make it less dreary, as I find the dreariest painting. You know, just to make it a little bit less dreary. But I mean, this is kind of like how I imagine each one of these wards being. You know, we've got the beds, we've got the storage, we've got the IV, we've got kind of like the monitoring system, place to wash hands, sanitary seats so that we can have visitors. And this is how every single one of these rooms is going to look, by the way. So please do make sure that you have enough materials for all of them. I don't know why I'm saying this. Oh, something, you know, another decoration might be to add pots, because there's always drinks in hospital rooms. I don't know why, but there is always drinks. So maybe just some pots and stuff. But we're going to do this to every single one of these rooms. So this literally, like, there's 2 on each floor at least, and I think on the top floor there is 3 of them. So it might be that, you know, in some of them you might have to like shrink there might be a slightly smaller area, but it shouldn't affect how the room looks at all. You'll just have to use ever so slightly. You'll just have to be a little bit creative. But basically, this exact same room decoration, so many more times. So I'm going to get on that, and then I'll be back once that's done. Oh, it's also worth mentioning that if you like, you can put a TV on the ceiling, perhaps in between the 2 beds. So just an end rod with a couple of black concretes, and then you could put a painting on it. Maybe we could even shift it an additional row. So like here, I mean, maybe not even like a double wide, but I mean, you can have this. But we're starting to get a little bit crowded, so it's kind of up to you whether you want to do that. But anyway, I gotta get to the other rooms. Okay, we have finally finished all of the wards, or at least I have. You might have to pause the video, and I'm very sorry if you haven't finished them, because they are my least favorite part of this tutorial so far. That was not fun doing all those wards. Oh god, look behind me. So I've this floor, this floor, this floor, this floor. That's 8 wards, and then an extra one here. 9. Oh, that was not fun. Okay, so once you have completed the wards for yourself, we can now head onto the, I want to say it's the 4th floor. Basically, this is the top floor. It's not this one, that's where the extra ward is, but it is the one below. We're going to start working on the first of the specialty rooms. So there's 2 that we're actually going to do with this set of items right here. Please do make sure that you have access to all of those materials and enough of them as well, and then we will be able to continue on. So, first one is going to be an MRI room. Pretty sure that stands for, I hope this is right, otherwise I'm going to look stupid, which is usual for me, magnetic resonance imaging. So that basically means they can look inside of you. So that room is going to be made out of smooth quartz block, blue concrete, glass pane, oak door, polished black stone stairs, paintings, buttons, end rods, and black concrete, and some of the rest of this stuff as well. So the first of these rooms, like I said, the MRI room, we're going to start off by placing in the back right corner here 3 blue concrete. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. We're then going to place smooth quartz block on the end, extend forwards by 2, right by 2, hit the ceiling, go right, and then make the... And then I'm actually not sure whether to make like all of this glass pane so that we can get like a good look outside, or whether to make the top of this smooth quartz block. So, you know, whichever one you like specifically, I'm going to leave that up to you. Stick a door on this. And then inside this room, we're going to have like a... This is tricky to place. We're going to have like a black... Come on. A blackstone stairs. Okay, maybe it'll have to face this. No, I don't want it to face that way. I want it specifically to face like... Yes! That way, perfect. And I'm going to stick a painting on it. Button. And I'm going to have a seat in here that's made out of an end rod. And then a chair that's made out of any carpet. It doesn't matter which one. And boom, there you go. So you've got a computer. Because basically inside this room, and this is where the technician has to be that like works the machine. So this room is basically a giant magnet. Now, I'm not 100% sure how this works, but it's some sort of giant magnet. You go inside this big like tunnel, and then they take a scan of you somehow. That's roughly how it works. I'm sure that, you know, some of you guys who might know a little bit more. My knowledge is based off of TV programs, so, you know, I don't know exactly how it works, but you guys get the idea. So we're also going to install like a TV in here, so that's going to be like an end rod and 2 black concretes right in the middle of this wall. It's not a TV exactly, it's kind of like it's going to have like information on the patient. So, you know, maybe we'll even have like a button on here and an item frame. Maybe we'll add one of those, something like that. So just like this, and it'll just look like a fancy screen. Along this back wall here, we kind of want to have, you know, like just like some units, so some light grey concrete, and maybe we'll just make it look, maybe we'll have like a lantern in here for light, maybe some just like oak trap doors across this, maybe like a button, and then maybe we'll have just like a couple of weighted pressure plate, like maybe a weighted pressure plate, and then an item frame. It just looks like some sort of fancy, useful unit. Then on this wall here is where we are going to place the actual MRI machine. So to make the MRI machine, we need to gather some materials together. So we need light grey concrete, polished andesite stairs, we'll need smooth quartz stairs, we'll need sea lanterns, we'll need both of those there carpets. And we will also need, just want to make sure I don't need anything else before I grab this. We'll need the item frame, buttons, and... Why am I blanking on this next part? Is that it? Do we just need the item? Yeah, oh, because we need sea lanterns, but we've already got them in the inventory. Okay, never mind. So, MRI machine. It's going directly in the center of this wall. Luckily, this wall has a center. It's right here. We're going to place 2 light grey concretes extending from the center. And then, oh, we need the smooth quartz slabs. Of course we do. So, smooth quartz slab extend from the second light grey upside down stairs in front. I'm hoping that the machine won't get in the way. On the 2 outwards quartz, we're going to have light grey carpet, and on the end, we're going to have a white carpet. We're going to place upside down andesite stairs on the left and right sides of the light grey concretes. Don't ask why the lower half of this machine is light grey and the upper half is white. I just googled what an MRI machine looks like, and it looks roughly like this. We need to build up the sides of the machine using quartz blocks, and then at the top we're going to have sideways facing quartz stairs. On the left side of the machine, a button. Inside of the machine, it's actually bright in there, oddly enough. So we want to place a sea lantern, and then we want to have quartz block on the outside. And we're going to place an item frame with a sea lantern on the outside. So I don't know whether to have this as kind of like a start button, or whether, I mean, it makes sense that the computer would actually sort that. So I don't know about placing another button on the outside, but that's pretty much the MRI machine. And we're actually going to leave this room pretty much like that. Like, you wouldn't really get much much else in here. This is like kind of the room. So I'm pretty happy with it. Hopefully you guys are too. Let's move down to the next floor. So we'll be sorting out these hallways and stuff later on. I know it looks a little bit blank in here. That's not going to be the case later. But now, for now, nobody even thought... Did any of you guys even question why the hallways were blank, or did I just make that up in my head like, they're probably wondering why... But anyway, moving down onto the next floor, we are, of course, going to be working in this room once again. So, what is this room? You're probably saying in a similar voice. What is this room? It is an X-ray room. So, this will have an X-ray machine. What do we need to make this thing? First of all, there's going to be like a booth, once again, like where one would, you know, where the technician should be. So that's going to be a block of quartz, glass, and we'll need oak doors. What else do we need? Let's have a quick look. We need polished blackstone stairs. We'll need item frames, skeleton skull, oddly enough, lever, and button. And we need some sort of chair. So I'm going to use quartz for this. A quartz chair. So, okay. In the corner of the room, same corner that we started on last time, we want to move across 1, 2. We want to place 1, 2, 3, 4 quartz extending outwards, and we want to extend that 4th quartz upwards, and then add a row of quartz to the right, 1 across the top like this, and that will leave us room for an entrance, and we will also... So again, once again, I don't know whether I want to have it like this so that we can kind of like see properly, or whether you want a row of quartz across the top. This time, I'm going to opt to have like a double window. Okay, we can get rid of the quartz now for a sec, and we can grab light grey concrete. Place it all the way across here. Place a chair in here, so that's any sort of stair. And we want... Oh, this is so annoying to place, it really is. I want like a computer. Oh, there we go, that nailed it. Nailed it. So we want to have a sideways facing blackstone stair, item frame, skeleton skull, and inside here I want a lever, and if you're in Java, you'll be able to place a button as well. Can't in Bedrock. Hey, sorry, you can't in Bedrock. You're just not allowed, unless the only difference being if you want to move your blackstone here, and then we'll come back in. And then if you want to have item frame, skeleton skull, button, and then you can have it like this, and that's fine. You get then that way you get it all in. So then that would be just fine, just like this. Perfect. What about the rest of the room? TSMC. Well, let me tell you about the rest of the room. So we need in this room you can actually have like chairs and stuff. So we're going to go with the polished blackstone stairs for this. We're going to go with why not? We'll have some oak trapdoors, light grey concrete. Let's throw some item frames in here. Let's get a little bit crazy. Let's lantern, maybe even some scaffolding. So in the corner of the room, maybe even okay. So this wasn't in the item list, and probably will not be in the item list, but. Over in this side of the room, I'm thinking like polished blackstone stairs, maybe some scaffolding just as a table, a couple of light grey concrete, maybe some light grey shulker boxes just above here. I'm thinking maybe a lantern, maybe an item frame, you know. Maybe over here we'll have like a little seat, just another seat, because why not? I'm thinking we've got buttons, haven't we? We sure do. So we could have like a couple of buttons here. You could even have like another seat just kind of like here. That could be for something else, you know. Maybe this is a little consultation room along with the X-ray machine. On this wall here, I specifically, because it works oh so well, I like how this works out. On this wall, I want... Where is it? You guys are gonna when you see what I want to put on the wall. Come on, it's one of you. It would be, guys. We went through like 10. Come on, hang on. It's a specific painting. You guys all know which one it is because it's not appeared yet. Haha! This is the perfect painting to have in an X-ray lab. The skeleton. I'm the only one that finds that amusing, aren't I? Alright, well, whatever. So, in these I'm just going to chuck a couple of item frames in the wall, and I'm thinking just kind of like put a couple of skeleton skulls. You could even put a bone in there or something if you wanted to. On this wall to the right, actually, we'll sort that out in a sec. We've got to make the actual X-ray machine. So this is ever so slightly tricky because it's a really hard angle for me to see. But let's grab all of the quartz blocks. Let's grab the oak trapdoors. Let's grab the carpet and the iron trapdoors, and that might be it. Okay, let's try this. Against the back wall here, I'm gonna in the corner smooth quartz slab, smooth quartz block, smooth quartz slab. Extending from this block, upside down smooth quartz stairs, smooth quartz slab, upside down stair, something like that, right? On the end, 2 light grey carpet, white carpet. Behind, smooth quartz stair, and then I'm thinking smooth quartz slab on top, then a regular. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then a regular stair in front, and then on the ceiling, just a couple of iron trapdoors, just like this. I'm pretty happy with that. And extending from the top of this stair here on the left and right, just a couple of iron trapdoors. Or maybe we'll just have the one. Oh, no, we'll have 2. And there we go. Perfect. That's pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. That looks roughly like an X-ray machine that I found on Google Images. So if you want in here, you can also add a screen of some sort. Maybe you can look at your own bones whilst you get an X-ray. I don't know, but a screen in here doesn't seem to go amiss. I don't know if that's the right word. To be using, but maybe just one. I don't know. We can leave it like that if we want to. So I'm pretty happy with that. It might even be that it might be. I'm wondering if it's a good idea to have like an item frame, like above this door, and then maybe like a sea lantern, and then maybe that can display like whether you should come in or not. I don't quite know, because you're not supposed to go near X-ray machines whilst they're on, are you? Unless you're like covered up. I had last had an X-ray when I was like, I don't know, 4. So I don't quite know the procedure for it. But anyway, that is I'm pretty happy with that, by the way. X-ray room machine. So we're going to leave it at that, and we're going to drop down to the next level. Now we're dropping down to the next level without knowing whether we have any of the materials. I have a feeling that I'm going to be sneaking away very, very shortly so that I can quickly grab all of the materials that I'm going to be needing. Okay, it turns out that we do need some different stuff, but we're going to grab all of these materials that you can see on the screen right here and now. This is going to cover the natal, the baby area, this is where the babies are kept that need some extra attention. Whatever you call that area, that's what this is. Maternity ward, who knows? Not only we're going to do that, we're also going to finish off the operating room. So make sure that you got all that stuff. Once you do, we can get this started. We're going to start off by using light blue beds, pink beds, birch signs, smooth quartz stairs, smooth quartz slab, light grey concrete, cauldron, tripwire hook, and weighted pressure plates. So first of all, we kind of want to make some, they're sort of like cots, sort of. So one row away in the front left-hand corner, diagonally in, light blue bed, gap of 2, pink bed going to the right. We want to place birch signs all the way around these, so that takes a little doing. So perhaps for, I don't know, bigger children that don't need to be in the little, I don't know if the word incubator is correct, but it certainly sounds like it. I'm pretty sure that incubators are used for like eggs, but incubate, I mean, it's sort of, there's some like cots, kind of like open sort of like beds, but you can't climb out of, which are these. But in the back of the room here, we're going to place, first of all, we're going to have a row of 3 light grey, 1, 2, 3, extending across the room, cauldron, 2 light grey, cauldron, tripwire hooks above the cauldrons, couple of pressure plates strewn about the place, and then extending from, we'll have, basically, they want to be in the same position as the beds. So we want to have smooth quartz slabs extending from the countertops, the light grey, in the same position as the beds. Smooth quartz stairs in front like this. And then we want to grab, one moment please, glass, item frames, paper, lanterns, warp signs. Actually, any signs will do, it doesn't even matter. And actually, I think that's it, because the rest of the stuff I think is for later. So a couple of glass on each of the quartz blocks. Item frames extending from in front of the stairs, papers inside of those, and then I'm just going to put warp signs just as a bit of colour variance. If not, birch will be just fine. If you don't fancy getting the warped, birch is fine. So just here, that's absolutely perfect. Couple of lanterns hanging above these. Again, I'm calling them incubators. Oh, that's what we need too. We need to place some smooth quartz. Upside down looks fine. Smooth quartz stairs above the 2 sink areas, just like this. Or that maybe they are regular facing. We've done regular facing absolutely everywhere else. If you wanted to, you could also place other things in. Okay, so I don't know, maybe like, you know how babies always wear like, I don't know, this is what I'm imagining. Okay, so I don't know if this is the case, but like babies always wear like woolen clothes and stuff. Maybe it's not just woolen clothes, but whatever. So I'm thinking placing some hats and some boots around. I'm thinking possibly, you know what, I might put those boots on. Why not? I'm thinking maybe on the walls as well. If you want, you could include some paintings. I'm thinking it's got to be nice in here, right? So I'm thinking some paintings. I don't quite know how this room divides exactly. So let's see. Okay, so maybe we can have just like this. That looks fine. I'm quite happy with that. Just to make it a bit brighter in here. A little less depressing, if you will. So here as well, just on this wall. You know, just to kind of like brighten it up. And I think that I'm quite happy with that. I'm happy to leave it like that. If you want to further improve this, I mean, you could have either some bookshelves. Kind of like back here, or you could have some shulker boxes or something, but I'm thinking that that's pretty good. I'm very, very happy with that detail, and more importantly, we can kind of like just see from outside, and that looks really, really cool. So once that is done, and once you're happy with that, we are going to go into each one of the 3 operating rooms, and we are going to do... Wait a moment. Let's scroll down here. So what do we need? What do we need for these 3 rooms? Let's see. Let's start off, we'll need end rods, black concrete, heavy pressure plate, white glass pane, stone buttons, brewing stand, both of the carpets there. We will also need item frames. Okay. Each one of these rooms is going to have like a heart rate monitor, so to speak. It's basically emerald, black concrete, weighted pressure plate, item frame, button, and that's it for that. So just make sure that nobody's dead. Item frame here on this area, and then an item frame here on the counter. I'm thinking white carpet at the top of the bed or the operating table, cyan for the rest of it, why not? And then I'm thinking to the right of the bed, couple of end rods, brewing stand on top. Boom. Now, what else can we add to this? So what I'm thinking is quite simple. Iron sword, potion, and night vision. Iron sword sort of looks like a scalpel. Potion, night vision, any potion, kind of looks like, you know, something that you would use in a surgery. That's it. That's how these... Oh, God, I look so good in my gold boots. That's what these operating rooms are going to look like. I've got 2 more to do. I will be doing exactly that. I might even drink this potion. Why not? Glug glug. Okay, I can see what I'm doing now. Oh, something that I just thought about as well is we have to do the lights. That's basically just glowstone with iron trapdoors underneath, directly above the bed. And that's it. Okay, so we have finished the baby area, and we have also finished all of the operating rooms, which means we are now going to go downstairs. We're going to go down to accident and emergency, aka A&E. So down here in A&E, I'm realizing I'm missing a block. Or do I have it? No, I don't. It doesn't matter, we'll grab it anyway. So, here are all of the materials that we will need to progress onto this next part. We're actually going to get a few different things done. We're going to add some decoration to the hospital. We're going to do A&E, all of it, and that's sort of it. I made it sound like we're doing loads, but that's it. So, make sure that you've got all those materials. Once you're ready, we can get started. So, light blue glass, weighted pressure plate, tripwire hook, white concrete, birch door, lantern, warp stairs, smooth stairs, blue concrete. Okay. So first of all, what are these for? Light blue glass is to go on this light grey concrete over here. Tripwire hook in front. Weighted pressure plate on top. It's a water dispenser. Also, it would actually be quite good if I did have pots. Or you can use buttons and item frames, and then we could just not get pots. And then that looks like bottled water or something similar. Okay, we're going to use smooth quartz stairs, above each one of the checkout rooms. Examination room! That's what they're called! Have I said that yet? I've been trying to figure out what to call these things all episode. It's examination rooms. Okay, yes. Birch doors for each one of the examination rooms. I'm thinking we add a little bit of light to this. So above and to the right of each one of these doors, we're going to have lanterns. Or is that too annoying? Should it be above the door? Yes, it should. It should not be to the right of the door. That really bothered me. I don't know why. Inside of each one of the examination rooms, we're going into the rooms. I didn't plan to do this just yet, but we're kind of in here now. So in each one of the rooms, we're going to have a concrete in the corner, white concrete in the corner. We're going to have a warped stair. We're going to have... We need way more stuff than this. So, okay, I'm doing a bad job of this, but maybe we can use the blue concrete. The blue concrete can kind of just be like a little bit of a unit with like item frames on top of the blue concrete. Maybe we can even have like a potion of night vision in here. Maybe we could even have like a potion of night vision and a lantern. I want to use grey shulker boxes or light grey shulker boxes, whatever. It's kind of like a unit of some sort, so like it's something that you can keep stuff in. I'm thinking buttons for the unit, just kind of like this. And I'm thinking we need a bed in here too, so that's going to be a white bed. So this is just a simple examination room. We could even use some paintings. Oh, we do have paintings. Excellent. So the paintings are going to go on this wall here, and no. Well, we could have it like that, and then we could have like one here. There we go. I just kind of want a couple of paintings, just as kind of like, I don't know, it seems to make sense. Or we could have one there, and then we could have... No, there's no... I'd have to delete the item frame, but I was thinking maybe one there, and then one here. I kind of want these two specifically. It might be better if they're on the same wall. There's something about them. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm quite happy with them being on the same wall. On top of here, I'm thinking like a pressure plate, so weighted pressure plate, and then this is good for an examination room. Like that's where you would be, or one would be. That's where the doctor or whoever would be. We've got some units. We've got some posters and stuff like that's kind of like how I like it in here. So I'm gonna do exactly this to all the other rooms. Okay, so I have successfully decorated all of the examination rooms. So happy that I thought about what... I remembered what to call those things. Now that we've done the examination rooms, we have to do the waiting room, which is just here. Like, it's not that complicated. It's basically, we need to lay out a load of seats. That's all, pretty much. So, I'm thinking... 2 rows from the back or 1 row from the back? I don't know. I'm thinking 1 row away from the back, 2 rows away from the wall. Here we'll start chair, gap, and then we're 3 rows away. How many rows? This might be a bit tricky. So what if we start... Okay, so what if we do this instead? 3 rows away from the wall, and then we're 3 rows away from this wall then. So the entrance we're 3 rows away, the wall we're 3 rows away, and then if we leave a 2-row gap, we should be able just to place another set of stairs, and then that looks nice and centered. I'm happy with that. That's perfect. Trial and error, ladies and gentlemen. Trial and error. So I'm thinking that we should add a load of posters. Every time I've been to the hospital, A&E, or whatever, there's always loads and loads of different posters. Probably not that one. We'll keep it. There's always loads of informational posters about. So we'll just have some posters on this back wall. That'll be just dandy, like, don't waste a doctor's time, and all of those things, you know, said by Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, okay, other than that, so quite happy. Seats, drinks, posters. I want to have a vending machine. There's always a vending machine. So, in between these 2 windows, upside down stair, 2 blue concrete on top, red concrete all the way to the left, buttons on the right side, item frames on the left, potions and night vision in there, boom, drinks / food machine. Feel free to put food in there instead. we need another one of these. So again, there's always plenty of these. So I'm thinking the other one is a perfect candidate because here's too close, right? You don't need two of them. Unless you do, you could put them everywhere. I mean, there are a lot of them typically. I mean, you could put one here as well if you did want to. Perhaps you put food in this one. Maybe we'll grab some food. And then we'll have, maybe a mixed one would be nice. So maybe here, I was going to say, it was a joke, but I was going to say maybe we could have a cigarette machine here, like in a hospital, like the last place you would have one of these. I was only thinking about that because when I made Moe's Tavern, like he had one of those, and that's crazy to think about. Like you wouldn't find one of those today. So let's get. Yeah, we'll get some different fit. So, what can we put in here? Cookie? Maybe bread or potato. Yeah, we'll put bread in one, and maybe we'll put cake in one too. So just to diversify, since there are so many, we'll just grab a load of stuff. Maybe a baked potato. Why not? It kind of looks like crisps or chips for the American of you. So maybe we'll have one here, and we'll put a different coloured flask in. We could even vary the colours of the machines as well, but it's okay, it doesn't matter. We can maybe like a green bottle here. So we've got a lot of vending machines, but yeah, there we go. We could alternate idea as well. We could have a parking meter, but I mean that's a bit niche. I think the vending machines look a little bit better. We can have like a little seating area around here as well. Originally this was a seating area, but I guess we've said goodbye to that. So I'm thinking red concrete, smooth stairs here, in between here, lantern here, maybe just an item frame. Or no, a pressure plate, because it sort of looks like a paper or something you can imagine in your mind. And then I'm quite happy with this. So I'm quite happy with this. Yeah, that's fine. On this wall, I'm thinking again, kind of just like loads of... No, not that. Thinking loads of little posters. That's just great. Don't need anything here. Don't need anything here. Everything's quite... I'm quite happy with all this. I'm thinking maybe light grey glazed terracotta oak leaves. That would be just fine. Okay. So I wasn't going to do this decoration because I'm not sure that it looks like... Why am I enunciating so hard? I'm not sure that it looks like what it's supposed to look like. Wheelchairs. You get these in hospitals loads, obviously. It's duh. So I'm thinking wheelchairs. Polished black stone stairs. Oak trapdoor on the sides. Is a wheelchair. You know? Maybe another one here. Makes sense. Kind of around the entrance. Could even have some here, but over there's fine. Maybe is there a spot for another one? Maybe if there's one here. Nurses and doctors always seem to have access to wheelchairs. So I'm thinking a couple of wheelchairs. And I'm thinking, again, potted plants, right? We'll keep the lanterns out. We'll keep the paintings out. Signs. And also just stairs in general. Actually, also beds. So here's what we're going to do. Downstairs... Hang on. A painting above here, maybe? Maybe... no. About... Yeah? Okay. That looks pretty good. Okay. Nice. Anyway. Why can I not just stay on topic? So, we're going to decorate the hospital a little bit. It doesn't require... Oh. Okay. Alright. I'm getting ahead and behind myself. I swear I've got ADD or something. So, lanterns. Let's start with this. Lanterns next to the entrance here. And also probably over here too. Down here, I'm very happy with the decoration. I don't think we need any more decoration down here. Except for we've got to fill in those two shops, those two stores. Doesn't matter. That can come later. But everywhere else I'm very happy with. But as one ascends through the hospital... I'm thinking in the stairwells we need some like potted plants and stuff. I'm thinking maybe on the walls we need some... we just need some painting. We need to bring this hospital to life. We've got the double count. Oh, please don't have destroyed anything. Oh, please don't. Okay, I hope nothing was on the other side of that wall. But I'm thinking plants. I'm thinking paintings. That's what I'm thinking for these stairwells. Where possible. Mostly plants, it would seem, but that's okay. But, not only are we going to decorate the stairwells, which I'll be doing in a little bit, But in the hallways, there's a few decorations that I'm thinking. Polished black stone stairs, oak trapdoors. We have wheelchairs. That's wheelchairs, right? That's a good decoration. Makes sense. I'm thinking at the end of hallways, potted plants, stuff like that, just strewn about the place. I love that word, strewn. I'm thinking randomly gurneys. Now, a gurney, if you're not aware, is how one would move a patient that is kind of like, I don't know if the word bedbound is right, but kind of difficulty moving, but laid down. So a gurney, so it's basically just a bed with, you know, just kind of like supports on it. So I'm thinking that is a good decoration. So just kind of everywhere, a little bit of decoration. Not too much, not too little. Like, it's going to have to be a hard split. But what I also wanted to have, because, again, you find these everywhere. I guess, I don't know why, but they are water coolers. So here is actually perfect because you can put it in the middle of the wall. White concrete. Light blue glass on top, tripwire hook, stone pressure plate, boom, water cooler. You can even have a little bit of a... Oh, we don't have anything that we can use as a counter. Whoops. So, counter. We can have pots, cups. Boom. Easy. Nice, good decoration. So, again, so we're going to want to use all of these techniques, kind of just a little bit of everywhere, right? Maybe even stairs outside the operating room? Does that make sense? As kind of like a seat? Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe if you put warped signs on there, maybe it'd look even better. Who knows? But maybe that makes sense. I don't quite know. It might be silly, but no, because people wait for operations, but probably not right outside the door. But we'll leave them there anyway, because why not? So we can do that. And once again, we can come back to the bed decoration. We've got the word gurney, the official term. But no, yeah, maybe we can have them stacked up next to each other. But regardless, right? So hopefully you guys have been like, that'd be quite good on, you know, just to decorate the floors with. So that's exactly what I want to do. I'm going to go all the way up to the top floor as well. So you don't have to go too crazy. Like on any given floor, you can just put one or two of these. You don't have to have the same thing. Although I'm going to have the water cooler on every single floor because, again, there always seems to be a water cooler no matter where you go. So I am going to be putting one of those in every single floor. But use these techniques. Get the whole place decorated, and then we can move on to, once all of the little decorations are done, we're going to do the last two parts, which is going to be the two shops. So let's do it. Okay, so I have been through every single floor of the hospital and I have decorated it with all of the decorations that you can kind of see around me now. All of the ones that I have displayed and showcased. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to head back downstairs, and I think this is the last thing that we have to do unless I think of something else. But here are all of the materials that we are going to be using for this last part of the build. I think that this is everything. Fingers crossed, because there has been like 20 item lists this video. So make sure that you got all that stuff, and then we can continue on. So we're going to start off red concrete, bookshelves, smooth quartz slab lanterns, some heads, it doesn't matter which ones, 3 different ones, smooth quartz stairs, polished andesite stairs. We're going to start off in what I keep calling the newsagent / convenience room / whatever you want to call it, doesn't really even matter. So inside of here, first of all, I want to make the counter space. The counter space begins directly here, so where we have this red concrete, leave a gap, place a red concrete, and then place a row of upside down stairs all the way over to the left. This is going to make the counter. Destroy underneath the counter, replace it with red concrete. Place on this also a polished andesite stairs. This is going to be a till. And also feel free to place, I don't know, like a lantern on here somewhere too. Along this back wall, we're going to place a row of bookshelves at the bottom, a regular shelf above, and then different mob heads here. Just to look like plushies, essentially. It's just toys. It's just to make somebody feel better. You guys know what the deal is. In this back wall, we are going to have a row of, I want to say, 3? I think it's... Anyway, actually, we'll make the freezer first and then it doesn't matter. Although I'm thinking about making the freezer in a different way. So the freezer is made out of smooth quartz stairs, light blue glass, item frames, and I'm thinking we've forgotten a material, but we'll also grab iron bars. And the freezer, we leave a gap of 2 at the back. A gap of... Yeah, we'll leave a gap of 2. And then we'll place... Oh, we need quartz block as well, my bad. So, no, not brewing stands. A gap of 2, and then we'll place 2 smooth... Yeah, that's not... Yeah, a gap of 2 smooth quartz blocks, and then extend it up to the ceiling. Then we'll take the end here, and we'll place upside down smooth quartz stairs in front. Smooth quartz block behind. Item frames at the back. And then we want to fill the item frames in with just like, you know... bread and cake and whatever other food stuff one might want. Fill the front of that in with glass, and then we're going to stick a door on this, which is, or a handle, which is going to be 2 iron bars, just like this. And I'm remembering the material that might benefit us is sea lanterns. So sea lanterns, maybe not there, I don't know why I'm placing it there. Sea lanterns would look good illuminating the fridge, so here, and then glass. That's perfect. Yeah, that looks great. Perfect. And then just to finish this area off, we need some bookshelves, flower pots, white tulips. So in this back corner, just a load of bookshelves, just like this. That's perfect. Some white carpet would actually brighten this place up a little bit too. Just maybe in front of the till area. And then there's not really too much more to add. I mean, it really is just a very small... gift shop slash food slash, you know, maybe a newspaper or so. Like, it's not really like an extensive area. I mean, we can put a flower pot in here, you know. You can use paintings to brighten the place up if you want. So maybe like one in the middle of this wall right here. So maybe something like that, you know. You could even have... if you wanted to advertise something else, I mean, I don't know what you'd advertise with the materials that we've got, but, you know, I mean, I guess it could be cake or something like that, or maybe even like, I don't know, maybe drinks or something, you know, just to kind of, maybe we can make this entire, maybe we can make all of this just like carpet, just, maybe that would make it look better. I don't quite know. I think that looks pretty good as is. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I'm quite happy with that. If we want to, I think of these as kind of like full areas, and what I mean by that is like I think of these as kind of like really just like full crowded, like get as much stuff as you possibly can in areas, you know. So I'm thinking something like this might just be good, and maybe if we put along the edge of this, I mean, I don't know, maybe just a load of plushies again. I just want to make it nice and big. Not big's the wrong word. I just want to make it look full. That's the word, full. So, you know, just something like this, and I'm pretty happy with this. If you want, you could item frame up, and you could add like books to this area. Like you could add books to the bookshelves. Like when I mean books, I mean like literally like item frames and then actual books. I just think that might make it look a little bit better. I just want it to look a little bit more interesting, and I think that we've managed to achieve that. We could even add like a trapdoor onto the side here if we wanted to, maybe something like this. I don't know, maybe not, it's up to you, but I'm quite happy with this area now. Let's move on to the coffee shop area. So the coffee shop area, what do we want to add in here? Well, of course, coffee might be a good place to start. So across the back here, we're going to need to start this off. Light grey concrete, furnace, detect rail, item frame, cocoa beans, brewing stand, flower pot. We need smooth quartz stairs, we need glass, and then we'll continue on. So across the back, 2 light grey concrete, furnace, light grey concrete on the other side. You could even have 2 furnaces if you want. Place detect rails on top of those, brewing stand on the left here, flower pot to the right, and then we're just going to have item frames upon item frames with different coffees in them, just like this. If you want to, you can diversify and you can add a couple of stairs above the furnaces. On the countertop here, we're going to use a glass, so one row away from the window. We're going to have a till, and we're going to have, what do we want on top of the glass? We shall just put a simple white carpet, and that shall be all. We can even put a cake on the counter if we want to as well. We could even put like a couple of flower pots, because of course, coffee cups. We could even add the same sort of other, I only just thought about this, we could add the same trapdoor to kind of just like stop people getting behind the counter. We can have white carpet kind of like surrounding the counter just to be like, this is where you queue. So just like this. Maybe we could even, I might add this in a sec, but I want to add, what's the word? Seats. Couldn't think of the word seat, so maybe a couple of stair, gap, couple of stair. No, or maybe, yeah, okay, that's how, couple of stair. Maybe it'd be better the other way, like a couple, no, it wouldn't. Okay, never mind. Couple of stair in the corner, gap, stair, corner. And then we're going to have end rods in front of these with green carpet on top, so I think that is quite self-explanatory. Just like that. Gonna have some paintings on the wall. So just a sip. No. Yes. There we go. Just like that. Nice and simple. I kind of want a one painting, just a one by one. That's looking good. Quite happy with this. I'm thinking I want a bin here. I'm sorry for grabbing extra materials. These won't be in the item list. There's no way because I'll forget them. But maybe a bin just as you kind of leave. That's pretty good. Yeah, and also I'm thinking a waiting area. I'm thinking of the word, you know, like a waiting area of some sort. So maybe just like a separate barrier. And then I'm quite happy. Like that's pretty good. The only thing that might benefit, that we may benefit from, is perhaps some lanterns. Can you tell I've been doing this tutorial for too long? Like I've been at this for a long time. I'm really starting not being able to think. Oh, God. Anyway, so this is what the coffee shop looks like, and I'm pretty happy with this. If you want, feel free to seal this up. I'm quite happy leaving it open. And, yeah. I think we're done. I think we've sort of done it, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing that you may want to do, and I don't even know whether I like this or not, right? You might want to go all the way around the hospital and signpost it if you want to. So, for example, and this is a nightmare to do. Like if I was on my keyboard, this is no problem. Exam room 1. Exam room 1. Exam room 2. Exam room 3. Stairs, floors 1 to blah blah blah. What is it? 5? You know, something like that. Convenience store, coffee shop. Maybe even put some signs on it. Maybe we'll put some banners if you want to go crazy. Floor 2. You know, I guess that would be floor 1. And then actually that you probably wouldn't need anything else. Like you just keep labeling the floors. So that would be, so for instance, like at the bottom here, you'd put like, this is what I do anyway. I'm thinking, I might have to go all the way around and like have floor 1 and then floor 2, floor 3, etc. Stairs. And then what's the next? How do I get to the next? I don't know how to get onto the next. Maybe if I keep leaving spaces? No. I'm not quite sure how to get to... Maybe stairs. I don't know how to get onto the... Do I hit... Is it start? Is it that? No. It turns out it was the start button. That's really annoying. So then it'd be like floors. And then I'd want to write, say, like G. Not that. G to... Okay. I think that there's 5 extra floors. That's what I'm going to go with, but I might be wrong. So like G1 to 5. Or is there? Have I got an outer shot of the hospital in my plans? I don't think I have. Oh, that's so annoying. I'm going to say G1 to 5, but I think it's 4. I think that there's 5 in total. So I'm going to go G1 to 4, G to 4. So ground to floor. Okay, so I think that I'm actually going to go all the way around and I'm going to label all of that stuff, right? So I'm going to label all the exam rooms. I'm going to label the stairs. What else would need labeling? Let me think. So, you know, I'd label floor. So floor. Flute. Floor 1. Ward 1, Ward 2, maternity or baby or whatever, operating room 1, 2, 3. Like, literally, I'm going to go all the way around and I'm going to label all of the wards, all of the specialty rooms, and then that will be the last thing that I've got to do. So, actually, I'll do that, and then we'll tour the hospital because we'll be done. So, this is what your hospital will look like once it has been finally completed. We can see that the inside has been extensively filled in. You guys already know what the outside looks like, but I want you to see as we rotate around the hospital that all of the rooms are full. Oh, it's a nice sight. It really is. That looks so good. So let's take a little bit of a tour. Probably not too long of a tour, but let's take a look. So as we enter this left entrance, we've got wheelchairs, we've got a place to sit, we've got nicely decorated walls, we've got our coffee shop nicely decorated. Very, very happy with this. We have our newsagent / gift shop / whatever you want to call it. This is all nice and decorated. We've got all of the lifts done, we've got all the stairs done, and by the way, there is actually 5 floors, but I only just thought about that as I got to the top floor. We've got a nurse's station, we've got our waiting room with all of our examination rooms nice and decorated as well. We've got all of our vending machines. Let's head upstairs now onto the next level. All the stairwells now have either painting or plants or both. They're also labeled, so like floor 1, we've got gurneys, we've got beds, we've got water coolers, we've got nurses stations, we've got toilets, we've got every single one of these wards decorated. It does make a difference. You can't just leave some of them empty. Like, you can just see from the outside how they're all done. We have this maternity ward that's looking pretty cool. I really like that. We've got all of the operating rooms. We've got some seats outside, which I don't think makes sense, but you know, we've got the halls decorated. We've got we've got all of these. The only thing that I'm forgetting, I forgot the glass off of that machine, but that's okay. Maybe it's just not turned on. We've got like our scalpel, we've got our medication, we've got the IVs. We're missing the scrubs off this. Like, a set of diamond armor would actually look quite good on it. But yeah, I'm very, very happy. Like, we've got our toilets as well. I'm not going to scour every single, like, all of the toilets and all of the wards and stuff, but I certainly want to check out all of the unique rooms, because I mean, you guys know that we've filled this hospital in. We don't have to keep looking at repeat stuff, but like, we've got an x-ray room here. Very, very happy with x-ray machine, a computer. We've got kind of like a little consultation area as well. Very, very happy with that. That looks awesome. As we move up to the next level, because there's not really anything unique about this room except yeah, this floor, except for the fact that, you know, we've got kind of like access to the roof here. But if we head upstairs, we have, again, it's the same sort of thing again, except we have our MRI machine, magnetic resonance imaging, the future of imaging. We've got that. We've got a computer. The next floor has nothing interesting on it. That's all just wards. So this is literally just a floor of wards and a toilet and nurse's station. This is the roof. We've even got the roof labeled. Again, it's even decorated a little bit nicely up here. We've got like a wheelchair ready to go, gurney ready to go. And there should be a helipad here, but we'll do that when we actually make the helicopter. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the entire hospital complete. That's the longest interior design tutorial that I have ever made. Oh, I don't know how many of you guys are going to be able to get through that, but that was a rough one to make. It's literally taken me all day. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I do hope that it's been helpful. If it has, please do remember to hit that like button. Please, it really does help me out. Subscribe if you're new around here. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure the bell's turned on. Even if you are subscribed, make sure that bell's on. If you do want to make anything else by me, if you want to make anything else for the hospital that's coming up, check out the card system in the description below and the top comment section for all of that other stuff. You'll be able to find it nice and easy. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all very much. I hope you love the hospital. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.